Cam Newton's contract. What is it? How much? When will he take the field? And then a preview and prediction versus those Arizona Cardinals. All in today's edition of Pantherology. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to yet another edition of Pantherology. Welcome to today's video. Ladies and gentlemen, we are one day away from the Carolina Panthers taking on the Arizona Cardinals. But before we get into today's video, as always, make sure you pound that like button if you like the video. Make sure you pound that subscribe button if you like the content that I'm putting out there and you like my channel. Make sure you comment down below because I love to hear y'all's thoughts and I will respond to you. And as always, make sure you click that post notifications bell because then you won't miss out on any of the new videos. You'll get notified every time I post up a new video. Also, make sure you check out the links down in the description. Make sure you check out my Twitter and Instagram right across here, across the board. Also, make sure you go check out the Carolina Panthers Den on Facebook. They are one of my favorite Carolina Panthers group on Facebook, so go check them out. Also, go check out the link down in the description as well. Go check out that Newsbreak app. Make sure you use my link. It really helps me out there. Guys, y'all are the reason why I continue to do these videos and make these videos and bring you Carolina Panther content and giving you my raw opinion about the Carolina Panthers. And all I can say is thank you so much, and I just wanted to give y'all some appreciation. So enough of that. Let's dive into today's video. Now, Cam Newton has made his return back to the Carolina Panthers. I never thought I would be saying those words, but the Carolina Panthers signed the veteran free agent quarterback, former franchise face, as in Cam Newton, on Thursday, this past Thursday afternoon. Now, Sam Darnold, as we all know, the team's starting quarterback, will be out for 4 to 6 weeks, guys, with that broken scapula. So, he will be placed on the injury reserve. So, this left the Panthers with just PJ Walker and Matt Barkley as quarterback options for a squad that still hopes to make the playoffs. Not the best backup options you can have, to be honest. So, although head coach Matt Rule has continued to put his trust in Walker, I have no trust in Walker. The Panthers understood they needed an improvement, which they did, right? If they were going to, especially if they were going to try to make the playoffs, guys, to be honest, regardless of Sam Darnold's health, they needed an improvement at this position. Now, some may feel that Darnold's injury led the Panthers to make this move, but given his recent performance, it's highly likely that they would have probably pursued Newton even if Darnold was healthy. Now, Newton has almost no chance of being activated for Sunday's game against Arizona. He is, however, absolutely eligible now that he has been vaccinated. So, next week's game versus the Washington football team is a possibility. That game would also be the return of our former head coach, Ron Rivera, who is now in his second year there in Washington. Now, if this was any other quarterback, it would take some time to come up to speed and understand the playbook, but Cam has been in the league for a long time, as we know, and was still on the Carolina's roster after Matt Rule was hired. Now, Newton, understanding of Rule and Joe Brady's system is really unknown. So, given that he was dismissed in the midst of the pandemic, when players were, not permitted to enter the facilities. Newton's contract will be 1-year deal that will last for the rest of this season. The salary range, it will be up to $10 million with a $4.5 million guarantee. So, if Newton is successful, he will have the option to re-sign with Carolina this offseason or enter back into that free agent market. Now, this week's battle between the Carolina Panthers and the Arizona Cardinals gets broken down now. So, the Carolina Panthers are 4-5, but they were the talk of the NFL on Thursday after meeting and finally signing Cam Newton, the franchise previous face. As we know, although Cam Newton's re-signing has re-energized the fan base, he won't have much of an influence on this week's game in Arizona, if at all. So next week's game against the Washington football team appears to be more likely for the number one to lead the Panthers offense. So I know y'all are tired of hearing me talking about Cam Newton, so let's see what we can anticipate between Arizona and the Carolina this Sunday. So let's take a closer look. So we're going to talk about the Carolina Panthers first. I always like to talk about my team first in these videos. The Panthers' ability to run the ball will be critical in this game. Not only would this make Arizona vulnerable against the run, but it will also limit PJ Walker's ability to push the ball into the window and resulting in turnovers. So Christian McCaffrey returned to the Panthers lineup, as we know, last week and carried for about 52 yards, and I think he had about 14 touches. So I expect his role to grow this week before he takes the field against the Washington football team next Sunday. Now, for a number of reasons, Arizona's pass defense is among the best in the country. They have men who can go after the quarterback, such as Marcus Golden. He has 9 sacks on the year. You got Chandler Jones. He has 6 sacks on the year as well. So as people who play smothering coverage in the back end, such as Byron Murphy Jr. and then Budda Baker and then Robert Alford, with the Panthers ready to start their 7th different offensive line alignment, pass protection might be a concern here, guys. Particularly on that left side with Dennis Daly coming in for the injured Cam Irving. Now, Carolina will have a shot if PJ Walker simply plays within the system and does not take too many risks. The Panthers defense has been outstanding all season, and it will keep them in every game. Now, turnovers have already cost the Panthers many games this season, and they can't afford to lead the defense on the field for 70 to 80 minutes every game. So I expect offensive coordinator Joe Brady to employ a similar strategy to what they did in Atlanta when they controlled the clock and ran the ball more than 40 times. So now let's see what we can anticipate from these Arizona Cardinals. Kyler Murray's ability for this game is uncertain as he recovers from an ankle injury. If he plays, the Panthers will have to be ready for a radically new offensive approach from head coach Cliff Kingsbury. Murray is the ideal of a dual threat quarterback, and Panthers head coach Matt Rule this week described him as probably the quickest athlete he's ever seen, college or pro. Strong words, I think. But Murray did not participate in last week's game, but experienced backup Colt McCoy filled in pretty well. Now, McCoy finished that game with 22 passes, or 22 completions, 26 passes for 249 yards, and I think he only had like 1 score. So last season, despite a slew of defensive difficulties, the Panthers limited Kyler Murray to only 133 yards on 24 completions. So Snow did an excellent job of shading a safety over the top to help minimize explosive passing plays. Now, Snow will be able to use Stephon Gilmore to shadow DeAndre Hopkins this year, with Dante Jackson and AJ Bouye alternating in coverage against, Rondale Moore and Christian Kirk. So here is my prediction analysis on this game, and anything is possible in the NFL as demonstrated last week. So even with a backup quarterback at the helm and the team's obvious troubles on third down and scoring in the red zone or even scoring touchdowns in general, I think with a 5-5 record, and an upset win in Week 10 would bring the Panthers back to 500, given that the numerous other NFC teams are already starting to turn around their seasons at this stage in the season. So the Panthers will need to put together a long winning run to get back into the conference playoff picture. As I previously stated before, it will be undoubtedly be up to the Panthers offense to lead the assault. The Panthers pass defense has recently led the way on the opposite side of the ball thanks to their ability to make key stops and create timely turnovers. So whether it is Newton or one of the other 3 quarterbacks that we have on this roster, the Panthers offense must turn around its recent sluggish play and then revert to its early season dominance. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and as always, before I leave you, keep pounding.